compound inequalities. That basically just means you're looking at an inequality that has two different inequality signs, and so it's not very difficult to go through and graph it. Let's go ahead and get a pen pulled up here. -4 is less than or equal to x. And if you notice, this x is sandwiched between the two inequality signs, so go ahead and put your dots on the -4 and the 3. Pay careful attention whether they should be open or closed. So this -4 is where I'm going to put my first dot. Because it's got an equal to sign, I'm going to close it. 3 is going to be my other one. It's going to be open. And that's fine. And now I just have to graph in between these two points, and I'm done. I've graphed this compound inequality. The solution is x is possibly -4, but greater than -4 all the way up into 3. But because it's open right here, I know that 3 is not a possibility. When I go to graph this one right here, it's a little bit different. We've literally got two different inequalities, and so that's all that we have to do. X is greater than 3, so I put an open circle at 3, and x is greater than 3, so we shade everything that's greater than 3. 4, 5, 6, that's all bigger than 3. And then x is less than -5, so we put a circle there. We pay attention to the sign, and because it has the equal to sign that's with inequality, make it a closed circle, and we shade everything that's less than -5. So that's the two different types of compound inequalities that you would need to graph. It's either going to be between the 2 points, and that's where the variable is sitting between the inequality signs, or you'll have two different inequalities, and you just go and graph both inequalities on the same line. It doesn't matter if there actually is an overlap or not. You just go and graph what it shows you to. And then we've got this one right here, write an inequality to represent the graph. So let's go and actually create a graph. Let's just say that we have a point that's closed and going off to the left at -6. And let's have an open circle point at -1 and going off to the right. So if I gave you this graph and I said write the inequality, this is all I would want you to do. X is, let's see, it's less than that point, so it's less than, and it's closed circle, so it's less than or equal to -6, and then you write the word or x is, let's see, it's greater than that -1, and it's not a closed circle, so it doesn't have the equal sign, and it's greater than -1. And so there we go, we have that. And then let's take a look at this issue. Let's just have it go from -2 to +2, and let's graph it in between the 2 points. Whenever you see it stuck or graphed in between, just put your variable right in between and then look at the numbers. Let's see, this is a +2 and this is a -2, so put that on the other side of the x. See how we're just framing the variables in there? The variable is possibly any of these numbers, so we're going to use these points as a bookend. And then we look at the signs. Let's see, this is going to have an equal sign, and x is definitely bigger than -2. But it could be equal to it, but it's less than +2.